Okay, here's me as an art student, sometime before I began my degree in fine art at Sheffield Polytechnic. I realised that because I passed my degree, probably that's not a good start tonight, so I apologise for that in advance. At art school, there was no sense that success would be imminent. It was often feeling that oh, that's jumped to a slide that I didn't expect at all. Hey, hey. At art school, there was no sense that success would be imminent. The idea that probably one would fail again, fail better, as the old Beckett quote came. Current students brought up on talent shows and the idea of overnight discovery would probably be quite sceptical about some of those ideas. But Lisa Lefebvre, who's head of sculpture studies here in Leeds, has written loads and loads about the idea of failure. It's been a really popular subject in art for a very long time. Balzac wrote this novel, The Hidden Masterpiece, The Unknown Masterpiece, about somebody who tried to stay in their studio for 10 years, painting away. It went horribly wrong, people came and saw the work, he was so appalled by the criticism, he killed himself. Picasso was really obsessed by this story, did a whole set of illustrations, and even moved to one of the addresses in the novel, where in fact he actually painted Guernica, so I guess success kind of came out of failure in the end. There's lots of other failures. One might be a failure because one doesn't have access of opportunity. If you're poor, if you're working class, if you're a woman, if you're a person of colour, as the Gorilla Girls show, it's quite hard to be a success. Some artists question the whole idea of success. John Baldessari, in this early series of paintings, was quite critical really about the idea of being kind of commercial, that success was purely a commercial thing. Some artists, like Damien Hirst, Leeds' finest son, probably, they also judged who you can buy a set of chairs for 30 grand. Clearly, commercial success is quite important to him. It's a lesson, perhaps, that he should have perhaps read Adam Phillips. He was perhaps a little bit critical about the idea that success might be really not all it's cracked up to be, as far as Hirst might be concerned. What about the ideas of life well lived, rather than just earning shed loads of cash or being famous? This guy here who's lying at the end, about to be walked on, who's a guy called Robbie Hirst, he said that he thought that a lot of art practices basically are merely fashion, merely passing through, and that we should perhaps accept that failure is inevitable. I'm really sorry that for all the people who are coming to college at the moment, they're failing, they're behind, they're already going to earn 1% less than the people who didn't choose to come and do an art degree. So I'm really sorry about that. Rather than bemoan this though, this art theorist John Roberts says that actually what artists can do is counter this. We can resist it. We can kind of say that failure is a more complicated thing. That perhaps we should take a lesson, as Kate Gilmore, an artist here who's dancing on stilettos, she's doing skipping, trying to walk on a slippery ramp whilst wearing roller skates, that actually failure is a really important critical gesture. And it was an idea taken up by Jan Verwert in a show that happened in Sheffield a few years ago called Yes, No and Other Options, where he was kind of saying that in a society where we're always asked to be on, we're always got to be performing, we've got to be succeeding, maybe we ought to be more critical of that and say no. It's something that perhaps Phila de Barlow, we're looking at Phila de Barlow sculpture, and that's Phila de Barlow in the middle there, is perhaps really keen on. She's provoking a bit of head-scratching uncertainty. She's really not sure kind of what it is that is going on here. And she's often spoken about the uncertainty of outcome, that she's very, it's important not to know where something's going. And I doubt she knew what this molten lava turd thing was going to be before she started doing it, or where it was going to end up. She also really recognises the human propensity for failure and mistakes, that actually that's a really rich part of life, and that we miss out a lot of things if we take the motorway rather than actually just going really slowly along the bumpy road. So really, what is failure in art? Is it a lack of commercial success? Is it damning reviews? Is it being dismissed that something is art at all? Maybe somebody just kind of goes, nah, when they look at your work. Maybe that's a failure. So tonight I've suggested failure might be educative, critical, it might be creative, it might be political, saying no to kind of prevailing mottos. But I'd like to sort of end with Gertrude Stein, that perhaps failure doesn't need any excuse, it just is its own thing. Maybe we should remember that. Thank you.